Welcome back to the Casting Call cEDH podcast. I'm Blake.
And I'm Chase, and today we're talking about the top 10 cards that we think were really good this year in cEDH. Not really.
to fully preface this, I feel really bad because one of our buddies, Parth, actually recommended that we do something like this. And I texted him back and was like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. And then when I got with Chase today, we didn't have a plan. And he was like, you want to break down the cards for the year? And I was like, that's a great idea. Fuck you, Parth. No, I'm just kidding.
But really, I think part of it is because, well, first and foremost, like, it's Christmas this week, right? And so if you're celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And we wanted to kind of showcase our thoughts on the gifts that the generous people at Wizards of the Coast decided to print for us this year in cEDH. So these are the top 10 gifts that we got this year. I guess I'm just thinking of it that way, at least.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So basically what we're doing, we looked at all the cards. For the most part, I didn't look at as many as Blake did, but we each have our own list, top 10 of what we think were the best cards printed in our format this year. So before we get started, as always, like and subscribe. And if you've already made it this far in the video and you're like, I don't want to even know what their lists are, drop it down in the comments what you think your top 10 list of cards were for this year. Because there were a lot of sets and it was hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah, make your own list and then see how it compares to ours. And then go proxy that list off at Manifold Proxies using code CCC.
He's getting it, folks. But yeah, if you like our top 10 list, or if you like mine more than Blake's, go on ahead and put those cards in at Manifold Proxies. Super simple and easy to do. Literally, if you have a deck list that you want to proxy out, just enter in your Moxfield list and it's good to go. And use the code CCC at checkout for 5% off your order. All that goes back to the channel and really helps out. Also, join our Patreon. We have Patreon.
We do, and I have started uploading the podcast episodes a day early, and they're ad-free. So if you want to watch those early, join the Patreon. Also, I'm sorry, I meant to put the people, I literally made a note to put the people who are in our Patreon like on the screen when Chase made that comment about like, here's the list. And I rendered the episode, uploaded it, did all the shit, and then
fucked up.
I watched it, and I was like, why isn't the list of Patreon people there? And I was like, oh, I forgot. So if you are a patron, thank you. And if you're Chase, fuck you.
And that list of people are right here. As I'm going to talk and rant a little bit. You could throw that up there. Don't forget it this time, though. And also join Discord. Like, join our Discord. It's continuously growing. Like, it's free. Like, it's not anything that like we're going to charge you for to get in there right now, but join while you can. And also, if you are in the state of Kentucky, join the Kentucky cEDH Discord. The link for that is also going to be down below. So that way we can start organizing more events and get some more things going within the state, and maybe even be able to bring more people in from like nearby states to actually compete in events. I know that I think there's a few coming up everywhere. What are you looking at?
It says 10 days till Christmas. I'm just dating us.
What the fuck? So yeah, join our Discords, join our Patreon, like, subscribe, and comment. So everything that you all do to help support the channel is greatly appreciated. So
hell yeah. You want to go first?
I think we should bring back a tradition.
I don't have free hands.
Oh, well, that fucking sucks. I think you should go first by default.
Fuck that shit. Okay, I do have an honorary mention.
Okay.
I think it's actually the best card this year, but it is an honorary mention. My honorary mention is Knuckles the Echidna. Shout out Malcolm Beckford.
And Matt Hayes.
And Matt Hayes. This card is the GOAT. It's It's fucking awesome. It's a win con with Cabbage Merchant, and I think it deserves its spotlight. But it's popping up more and more in like different lists and stuff. So I really like this card. I think it's sick. But dude, I was struggling to put this list together. Like, Jesus, man, it was tough. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Where do I place stuff? And the more I sat there, and it kept falling off. It was the first card I put on the list, and then it just kept falling down. I was like, fuck. And eventually it ended up in honorary mention. So I wanted to make sure that I at least mentioned Knuckles, but Knuckles is my honorary mention. Do you have any honorary mentions?
I don't. I kept it 10.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look at anything else. I struggled even with this 10. So
I originally had 18 cards on this list and had to narrow it down to 10. That was fucking tough.
he went from like not knowing what to do to overachieving real quick, is what it felt like. And then I was like, don't do that fucking many cards, please, because I can't think of anything. So what is your number 10 though?
My number 10 is Deadpool, which I know probably feels very weird, but this card has been absolutely gas this year. It is one of the best win cons in the Dargo Timna strategy, and that deck has like had a huge resurgence, especially after the Dockside ban. I think that the card's like fantastic. As he's playing a lot of stuff. I was actually goldfishing a Sisay deck earlier, and I was like doing the whole like turn this text box, whatever, and then kind of walk your way up that way. Is like, now Sisay's bigger technically because it's like the Deadpool Sisay, but the card's like really, really, really good, and it's seeing play in like a lot more lists. The only reason I think it was lower is because I think that we got so many cards this year that are either staples, potential staples, or just proven strategies. So it ended up as number 10 for me, just because I didn't know where else to put it. Like, it was literally, I had Knuckles on the list, and then I was like, this feels wrong. I think I have to put Deadpool on my list and then take Knuckles and put him in the honorary mention. So Deadpool is my number 10. The Merc with the mouth.
Same. So I put Deadpool at number 10 on mine as well. And for most of the points that you had kind of said, like, this is a card that, especially with Dargo Timna, like, being able to have access to Deadpool and do the Ruthless Technomancer stuff, things like that. I don't know where that deck would be if Deadpool didn't get printed. Like, those pilots are still going to probably find a way. But, like, I think that last year, Dockside got axed and people were just like, well, there goes this deck. And then we've had Kellen, we've had Sylvie, we've had a ton of other people placing very, very well on Dargo Timna. And so and you just mentioned the Sisay list as well. Like, I think that this is one that kind of a similar situation where a lot of Sisay pilots, as soon as Dockside was cut and got banned, they're like, we're kind of struggling here. What are we going to do? Deadpool just kind of fills this like really important spot in the deck. You're kind of limited on 4-drops as is, but I mean, most people were running things like Sakashima and Talion at the time before Deadpool got introduced into the format. And like, even I was kind of skeptical at first about it, but the fact that it actually hits your 2 hardest colors to hit, and then you can do what you were talking about, swapping the text box with Sisay to make it technically bigger, and then being able to do some shenanigans from there. Like, it's a really, really strong card. And I think that it's honestly like one of the cards that kept Sisay like kind of at the top. As we talked about last week on the channel, it stayed in that number 4 spot consistently throughout the year. So, but I do think Deadpool is a big reason for that. And for it to not come out of like any of the main sets that came out this year, I think that's pretty awesome. Like, this was a secret layer card, and I think that it actually had a huge impact on the format as far as the 2 main decks that it's really played in, especially since it's like we talked about last week, like looking at things in the back half of the year too. So Deadpool was my number 10 card that I had on my list as well. You want me to go into my number 9 while I'm talking, or do you want to do it?
That's up to you.
Fuck it, you got it.
My number 9 is Wan Xing Tong, Librarian. And I think the reason I put this one here is because I feel like a lot of the cards that I have higher up in the list are for sure staples.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're cards that I know are going to be played in pretty much like every list that runs that color now. I think that this is one of those cards that is interchangeable. Like it can come in and go out. I think that it's going to probably eventually find a home, and or people will either decide like this is a staple or it is not. They're going to try it out. They're going to say, wow, this is really good. And then it's going to, next thing you know, be in every blue deck. Or a bunch of people are going to try it and they're going to go, it's Archivist of Ogma. And Archivist isn't even like always in every list that runs white.
Yeah.
So I think that it could end up being one of those cards similar to kind of like a Knuckles. Knuckles started popping up in more like red lists. This is going to start popping up in more blue lists. People are, like I said, they'll just feel it out. And I think the card's fantastic. And in certain lists, it's busted. Like if you have, infinite colorless and something like Kennen, you can pump some of that into it. Blue, you draw your whole deck. It's basically like another outlet. Some of the other lists that are running like things where you need an outlet, it's there. Or if you just want to pay 2, drop that bad boy for X = 0, and then now you're just getting a giant ass beater that's getting bigger. Totally fine strategy also. I think that makes total sense. Very good card. Not dissing the card at all. I just don't know if it's going to end up being a staple like some of the other stuff is.
Yeah.
What's your number 9?
At number 9, I actually put Tezzeret Cruel Captain here. So, card coming out of Edge of Eternities, and I made this comment when we did our Edge of the Eternities video. Like, even though it's a Planeswalker, like for 3 generic, it doesn't have the like straight up appeal like the One Ring did in whenever the One Ring got released, and like everyone was like super hyped about it. Now people are seeing it get cut. I didn't think that Tezzeret would see that same kind of reaction. But I do think it's a really flexible card and a really versatile card in that it can go in whatever deck you want to jam it in. We've seen, especially in this back half of the year, a lot of these like monocolored artifact strategies kind of popping up in the format and placing at events like the Arc of Daxon. And we've seen a couple of Oswalds throughout the year, things like that, which is kind of odd, but Arkham for sure. Tezzeret's part of that list at times. Technically speaking, like Lumra plays this card, goes and gets like a Candelabra or Amulet of Vigor or things like that. I think even whenever it got released, some of the Turbo Cradle decks were experimenting with this, just being able to have another way of quickly going and grabbing the Candelabra and abusing the Gaia's Cradle and things like that. I think that, I just think it's a really good card that found a home in some decks, even if those aren't necessarily the like best performing strategies right now. And I think that there's something about this card I think that can probably be really broken. I just don't think that we have found it yet. That's kind of where I feel on this card. I recognize it as a really strong card. I see that decks have been trying to utilize it throughout the year. And I don't think we've seen where the full ceiling on this one is yet. So this is one that I kind of have my eyes on as I play different decks coming up in this next year, just to see how I feel about it. And I don't know, we'll kind of go from there. All right, number 8.
Yeah, my number 8 is actually the Badger Mole Cub.
Okay.
Because same exact reason I said about like Washington. I don't know if this is going to see play in every single deck that runs green, just because, again, it's like if you tap something for mana, it makes an additional green. So obviously, if you're playing into some strategy that has green, you're going to want to see green mana. But it's like, how important will it be? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where this card slots into like certain lists. It'll probably see play in a lot of green lists, but maybe not all. Where again, I kind of see the other cards towards the top is like stuff that's going to see play in just about anything that runs that color. So I think I kind of stuck it closer to like, Washington. I think that this will see play in more green decks than Washington will see in blue decks, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. That was just the best way for me to decide where each one of those went. I think that it probably just edged it out slightly. And that's literally it for me. I think that it's already starting to become like a staple in a lot of decks. I think that it will find its home probably quicker than Washington. And also, right now, I can't remember what format because I don't play 60 card because fuck it. But it's seeing a lot of play in like one of the 60 card formats. So I figure people are going to find ways to like break this card open and like do silly stuff with it. So then it's just going to get kind of figured out quicker than Washington. So I think that it'll get figured out first, find its home, and then Washington will kind of like follow suit afterwards. But yeah. So I don't know. I think it's really good.
Well, at my number 8, I have a green card here as well. So I put Nature's Rhythm as my number 8 card. What? That face. Look at it. Just look at it. What?
We'll talk later.
We have very different lists. Yeah, I put Nature's Rhythm as my number 8 card. I think that, I mean, pretty much every deck I think that we've seen run green has been running this card. Maybe the exception of a couple here and there, but like even like the Turbo Cradle decks have been running this. And I think that this is one that like even at times we've seen pilots opt to run this over something like Finale. Very quickly edged out Invasion of Ikoria. And now like some pilots, like I think even like Freedom Waffles back has been playing like Invasion of Ikoria in his no bad cards list, but like we've seen that card come in and out a lot of times.
Yeah, I think this card replaced like something like Green Suns.
Yes and no. It depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're doing like Fairy Mastermind loops and things like that, you probably want Green Suns because that actually is the card that keeps your deck replenished. Actually, oddly enough, we've seen some lists, or at least I've been seeing lists that like will keep Green Suns but cut Endurance as part of those plans. So they just try to really prioritize. It seems like they're prioritizing like Value Flood Color and the High Fate Tricksters, things like that to do it, rather than flashing in a green creature for pretty much free. Don't know why, but I've seen Green Sun pop up more than that. But Nature's Rhythm is always ran in conjunction with those cards. Green Sun, Finale, not as much things like Eldritch or Neoform or anything like that, but like those three for sure, like they're always popping up together is what I'm saying, or what I feel like I'm saying. Yeah, I just feel like every deck that wants to run green wants to do it. It's just that I think what places it a little bit lower for me is that I think the way it gets used a lot of the time, it just gets super telegraphed what people are going for. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a Nature's Rhythm cast and it's like, oh, X is 5. Oh no, it doesn't resolve. No, fuck you. You're not getting your Seedboard Muse. So I think that is what kind of is the drawback for me on why I have it so low. And that's just part of a format, right? Like knowing what the decks are trying to do, things like that. But hey, if someone is able to resolve it and just start jamming, especially in Kennen, then it's really, really good. But yeah, my number 8 is Nature's Rhythm.
My number 7 is VV.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this card's obviously very busted. This is kind of where I had to I kind of hit like a crossroads, and I was like, do I talk about the strategies or do I talk about the staples? And I think that the strategies are very important, but the staples are going to be played in like all sorts of stuff. I think cEDH is kind of defined by the staples, like your shell. And so I think that the staples probably matter a little bit more. I've always said, I just feel that way. I think the 99 is the most important piece, or 98, depending on if you're playing partners. But it's the most important piece, and then the commander is like kind of there. Yeah, so I think VV, people thought this deck was going to be fucking busted. Everybody was like, this is Nadu levels of broken. People with 80% win rates on it. Like I remember Hire talking to Max P whenever they were doing like one of the whiskey sip things on the Winning In podcast. And he was like, man, I got a friend. He's got like an 80% win rate with his deck. It's fucking nuts. It's going to be broken. Nadu level of broken. And then even people were making like the meme cards where it had like Nadu and then VV was on his back or whatever. Like, yeah, the deck is very good, but I don't think VV was as busted as what people thought it was going to be.
No.
It's got clear interaction points, play like the moments when you need to be like, okay, bye-bye VV. I think the deck is...
Even if you look at it, like, one of the things that we noticed a lot of the times whenever we were breaking down tournaments and seeing lists, like when this card got spoiled, a lot of people thought, oh, that Quicksilver Elemental is going to be like an auto include in the deck because it just goes infinite and things like that. We saw a lot of decks like very quickly go off of that game plan. And so I think that Vivi is very strong. I just think where we're at the format right now, it's like we talked about last week on the podcast. Like Rowell's fucking kicking ass.
I think
Like,
I think the issue that this deck has, okay, I'm gonna say this, and these are not the same, so don't take this the wrong way. But
I'm taking it the wrong way.
if you were gonna play something like I like Sithis, okay?
Okay.
The deck is Manual Storm, and we are in a value engine meta. So you either have to win before the value engines come down, or you yourself have to outvalue the value engines. VV is essentially Manual Storm in a value engine meta. That is not a good place to be. You're going to storm off, and you're going to hand your opponents every fucking answer they need to stop your win.
I mean, isn't Rowell the same thing?
No, because Rowell does it before the value engines come down. Like, VV goes into mid-range, Rowell goes under the mid-range. Like, Rowell is a consistent turn 2 push deck. Like, if somebody's not landing a turn 2 Rhystic Study or whatever, like, you're in the fucking clear. You're good.
Yeah.
If you can, the plan is very, very linear. It's turn 1 Rowell, turn 2 jam. Turn 1 Rowell, turn 2 jam. VV, sometimes it's like land, rock, pass. Turn 2, VV, pass. Turn 3, start jamming.
Yeah.
And half the time, they don't even have a value engine at that point. They're just making a shit ton of mana, and they're trying to like manual ritual. Yeah. And then the Rhystic Study player goes, may I draw? And VV goes, nah, fuck it, why not? And then you're like, nah, fuck it, why not? Just draw. Quicksilver, and they're like, my brain trap. Okay, are you done? Yeah. Okay, cool. Win. Like,
yeah.
Rowell says, okay, blah, 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 like I'm going to do all this shit. And even then, people go, I think I know where I should interact right here. I'm going to interact with this spell. Fuck. Okay, cool. Like,
the spell you interact with is Rowell.
Yeah.
You just interact with Rowell.
Yeah, Rowell or the mana.
You just fucking kill him, and you're all good.
Yeah.
So stupid. Anyway, so my number 7. I actually put Redirect Lightning.
Interesting.
My number 7 card. This is a new card, just like some of these others that we have talked about or are going to mention. I do think it's a very strong card. I think having access to another like deflecting SWAT type effect is very good. Obviously, like if you look at the Rogthras decks, like literally there's Rograk, there's deflecting SWAT, and sometimes that's the only things that they have as red spells, right? And probably Flare Duplication. Those are the ones that make sense. Redirect Lightning, I think, just kind of, it doesn't replace those by any means, but it's definitely a very good piece that just complements those cards. And so just for 1 red, like it goes in Rogsai, it goes in Sisay, it can go in Rogthras. I don't know whether or not Blue Farm will entirely want it, but maybe. Same thing with Kefka. Same thing with Ral and Vivi, like we were just talking about. Like, shit, maybe even Dargo Timna might want it. Like, it's really, really good. Having that ability to change the target on things has proven to be a very beneficial and effective, like, not necessarily strategy, but like ability to have in the game, and can actually like really shape the direction of the game from that point on. Again, it's not as strong as like deflecting SWAT, but I think it is a very good complementary piece to that card in particular. So it was cool to see that something like this get printed this year.
Hell yeah. I definitely agree. Redirect Lightning is very good.
So what's your next one?
Is this number 6?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Redirect Lightning.
My number 6 is Kefka Court Mage.
Okay.
For the exact same reasons that I said VV in place of some of these other staples, because again, Kefka is the strategy, not the staples. Again, I just value the package more than like the commander. But I think that Kefka is better than VV, clearly, because Top Deck tells us that. I mean, it's just the truth.
It's just facts.
It's just facts. This is not opinion anymore. This is facts. Kefka better than VV. Get fucked. Okay.
Are you talking to like your past self on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Bissy. But yeah. So yeah, my number 6 spot I have Bissy Baxton. And but seriously, I think that I think Kefka is fucking nuts. Like it's very good. And I'm actually really excited to like play the deck some more, like just try it. Just because again, I think that I fucking hate Rogside, dude. The deck sucks so much dick. Kefka feels like mid-range Grixis, and I like that. And I know that people are like, well, it can go turbo. Yeah, but I don't want to. So I'm going to just play mid-range Grixis. But yeah, I think that the list is like, I think that Kefka's solid. It's proven itself. It's very good. Yeah, I'm honestly just curious to see I'm curious to see if it holds its spot or goes up anymore with like more commanders and stuff that eventually come out. But it's again like the conversion rate is great. The top cuts is fantastic. I think when we ranked it, it was what, like 9th. So I mean, it's fucking kicking ass. Like the deck is very good. And so again, I think that you just can't deny the card. I feel like it would be wrong of me to not mention this card whenever literally people have been building around this deck, and it has again kicked out other viable established strategies from their spots. Like when we started the year, we saw things like Najila, and we saw things like even like Derevi kind of creeping into the top spots, stuff like that. Kefka came in and was like, no, get the fuck out of here. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. And then like, boom, I am now essentially the gatekeeper. You know, it and like Ral are kind of your gatekeeper decks where they're like, if you want in, you got to get through us. I feel like I can't look at the format and go, you're in the top 10. You don't deserve to be on the list. So I was like, okay, it's got to be on the list.
Right.
And then again, Knuckles fell another spot. Number 6 is Kefka Court Mage.
Yep. My number 6 is another Final Fantasy card. I actually put Luswa's Sacrifice as my number 6. Just because I think it was maybe the best counterspell printed this year. Maybe. I don't remember. What was another one?
Redirect Lightning?
That's not really a counterspell. Is it? I will say this. I think that Loose Walls is probably better than like Spider Sense.
I agree with this.
Right? Just because with Spider Sense, you're kind of required, like you have to meet that requirement of like being able to like have a legendary tap down in order to do the web slinging ability. I don't know. Spider-Man wasn't really a great set. So it is what it is. I think that this card in particular, like I know Sisai pilots have been on Loose Walls. Me particularly, I haven't, but it makes sense to be on this because you kind of have this silence or this stifle effect and can just be a hard counter for 1 blue, and you just get rid of like one of your legendaries that you might not need in that moment. Or like say if you have Agatha's out, and like I'm not saying you would actually want to do this, but like for some reason you have Sisai out and you had to sacrifice your Savala, you put Savala in the graveyard, eat it, put a counter on Sisai, and just continue like doing whatever chain stuff that you needed to do, all while being able to protect your board state through a counter spell like this. Like that's probably like a worst case scenario, or like just feels really, really fucking bad. But having a hard counter and a stifle ability printed on 1 card that is kind of easy to meet the requirements of it, especially like in any of the Rogue Rack decks, right? Like you just sacrifice Rogue Rack and hard counter something, or counter your opponent's Thassa's trigger that's on the stack, and then you present your own win on top of that, or whatever the fuck you want to do at that point. Like I just think that it was probably the best counter spell that was printed within the year. So yeah, that's why I put this one as my number 6.
That's very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and just spoil for you. That did not make it on my list.
Did it not?
No, I don't think that card's good. I think it's played only in Rograk strategies. That's basically it.
But how good are Rogue Rack strategies right now?
Sure, but
how good are they?
They're good, but guess what else can go in Rograk? My number 5, Redirect Lightning, which I think is going to be a staple in every red deck. That's why I put this one higher than like the Kefka and the VV and stuff like that. I was talking to Kellen, and Kellen literally was like, "This will be a staple in every red deck."
I mean, it probably will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I think that Louis Suave, if you're playing a free commander in the zone, then absolutely, I think that it makes sense. But I don't even think I've seen like Dog Thrash lists really like playing the Louis Suave, and you could just eat the Yoshi and like,
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't want
yeah,
to.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just think that those commanders offer more than just like, I guess, like the sack ability. Now again, I don't think it's wrong to play it, especially if you just have like a free body just chilling there that can just die. But yeah, even like some Rog size strategies, I've not seen them on Luswa. I still see them on the Flare, just not the Luswa, because I don't think they want to be the one that's like, well, I'm trying to go fast. I don't want to police the table. I want to be the person that's like, hey, fuck you. I'm just gonna copy your Adnaz and go from there. And so rather than playing Luswa, they're playing like Flare. I'm even seeing some people play like the blue Flare over like the Louis Swaz. I think that the one strategy where I've seen it like pretty much consistently played is the stuff like Rog Thras. And I think that the reason for that is because that deck does want to go long and it's looking for ways to like cast stuff for like low mana or free.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks too because then you're eating a body for your cradle and like stuff's happening. But still, I think that the card's fine. I just think that out of the other stuff obviously on the list, I think that I don't know. I think redirect lightning is better. I think it's going to be in like every single red list.
Yeah.
I just don't think Louis Suave, because even though that is an option to like eat the legendary and stuff, it's the moment you play a red land or a red source, like redirect lightning is turned on because like your life is just a resource. Louis Suave has a little bit more setup, so I think that redirect's just better in my opinion.
I think with both of them, there's always going to be a situation where like both of them feel bad to have in your hand.
Oh, for sure.
Like you can have the loose walls and not be able to fully take advantage of it because you can't sacrifice a legend. But you could also be in a position with the redirect lightning where you have one like untapped red source, but you don't have the 2 to pay, and you're at 4 life. Right? Like,
yeah, I think that again. I think that it comes down to if you're playing. I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like if you're playing a free spell, if you're playing like Rograk, Rograk's just chilling there in the zone. Like if you're playing Rogsai, you're trying to go fast and you're using Rograk as like, as Kellen calls it, like a battery to farm the strategy and go fast. I don't think you want to eat it for the counter spell because then it's like anti your strategy. I think again, like Rog Thras can do that because it's a deck that's like made to go more long. Yeah. So it's like the only deck that I'm seeing play like the Louis Suave, just from what I've noticed. Redirect Lightning is a card that can be like active early, active late, obviously like too late and you're like, but I think that it just has more versatility than something like the Redirect or the Louis Suave. And then if you're not playing Rograk specifically, then even though like you can just eat the creature to make the Louis Suave like cost less, you've already invested mana into that resource of like the creature. So then it feels like you're not actually getting what you want out of that spell. So I think that that's why a lot of people have like shied away from it. I don't think that it's a bad card. I don't want you thinking that. I just think that Redirect is better. That's why it ended up in my list. And like
he said, it was a fucking shit card.
it is
should
dog
have put
shit.
it on
You
the
should
list.
never play it.
God.
If you do, kill yourself. No.
Here's my only other counter argument. Blue's better than red. Get fucked.
Is it now?
Yes,
is
absolutely.
Is it?
Are you talking about like the coloring combination? Is it? Is that what you're
Is
asking
it?
right now?
Yeah. Is it?
So, all right, my number 5. You know, talking about colors getting really good cards throughout the year. You've already mentioned this one. I actually put Badger Mole Cub as my number 5. Worst case scenario, I think it just turns into what, a wild growth. You just animate your land that you used to cast it, and now it can produce an extra green because of the earth bends. Right? That's like worst case scenario. But I think that this card is nuts. Like, it obviously, Kenan picked it up right away and I think any of the Turbo Cradle strategies picked it up right away. It's not one I'm playing in cEDH. I don't think that deck in particular wants to utilize a card like this because the deck doesn't struggle on making green anyway. It wants to make the other colors. I think green got a lot of really good support this year. I think that it's not the card on my list that is like the best green card that I think. But I think that, again, this is one that when you pair it with things like Enduring Vitality and Cryptolithrite and things like that, just basically anything that turns your shit into dorks, or you could produce mana with it. Like Kennen was already Kennen was already stupid, right? Let's think of it that way. And then you give this really low to the ground, like easy to cast, low cub. And now if you have Kennen out, you're tapping for 3. Stupid. Just busted. Like, especially since Kennen moved up to like being the number 2 deck in the format. I think that even though this is a newer card to us, I think it's like one of the best green cards that got printed for sure this year.
I agree with you. I think that this card is cracked, but I'm just trying to figure out where it's gonna like find its home. I think that it's gonna
find its home.
I'm trying to say, like, I don't know what strategies want to lean into it super hard.
Kennen, anything that runs Thrasios.
Yeah.
That's it.
Maybe. I mean, I literally don't know. Like I said, I have no idea because I've seen lists that are testing it, and then I've seen some green lists that are just like not on it at all. So I don't know. So I'm just curious.
I think this is a solid fucking card.
I agree with you. I do, but again, I don't know if it does find its home. Then I think that it deserves to be up there for sure.
You don't think it's found its home in Kennen?
Because you find your home in one deck, you can't. That's
finding your home.
No. Because if that was the case, Deadpool would be like fucking top notch. But I put it lower because again, these are cards. The way my list is sorted is the bottom are cards that they have found one home or are finding their home. Then you have the established strategies, and then you have staples that are fucking in everything. If you're in that color, you're pretty much playing it. Would you like to know my number 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
My number 4 is Tataru.
Okay.
This card's fucking amazing. It's nuts. It's cracked. White has gotten quite a bit of support, and this card is fucking amazing. It's very good. I love this card. There was a lot of people that were debating on whether or not this card was actually like any good, and like whether they were going to play.
I think we've started to kind of fall off of some lists, though.
I don't think so. I think that I think it's in every damn thing that I see. I think it's very good, personally.
Well, you play slow anyway.
Yes and no. Mentally, yes. Physically, yes. Okay, yeah, I play slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that this card's like, what is it Kellen said that I say correct?
Correct.
Yeah, this card's fucking cool. This is, to putting it in your list is correct. It's fucking amazing. And if you're not playing it, still good.
Yeah, still.
I mean, think about it, bro. I'm just saying the number of times that I've like top deck tutor, you know, like you got an imp seal in your hand, you're like, this feels bad. And then you imp seal and you're like, oh shit, I got a Taru. I'll draw that card. It's a great fucking card. What's your number 4?
My number 4, this is where I put Kefka. I did put Kefka. I put one actual commander on here. I do think it's probably, as much as I don't truly want to admit it, I think it was probably the best commander that was printed this year. And just so happens to be in Grixis colors, you know.
I mean, to be fair, Timnah and Crom were both printed this year.
Oh, fuck you, buddy. Like, that might be true, but
I'm just saying.
Still, I think Kefka, not only do I think it's the best commander that was printed, and obviously, if you haven't watched those past episodes, I thought that VV was going to be number 1. And I still think Terra's really fucking strong. Terra, I think, probably deserves a list mention somewhere. That's probably my honorable mention. Fuck it. But
Knuckles is better.
No, absolutely not. Anyway.
Are you crazy?
Yes.
Knuckles is better.
No. Anyway.
Knuckles says I win the game on the card. It is better.
No. Anyway, so Yeah, I think Kafka for pretty much all the reasons that you listed. Like literally, like it's hard to ignore whenever by the end of the year it broke into the top 10. It's a new card from this year. It's in Grixis colors. You don't have to go and like deviate too far from the strategies. All the things I mentioned last week on the podcast for Kefka. Like it's really strong. I think that it I'm not going to say it gave Grixis something that it was missing because it wasn't. Like we saw the Malcolm Vile Smasher deck performing well consistently throughout the year. And there's definitely other Grixis mid-range strategies. I just think that this came out at a very good time where we were still in the mid-range hell and people saw this Grixis like mid-range deck that could sit back on value engines and have a really good cards access to the 99 and then fuck some shit up as soon as this commander comes down, right? Like you don't see this card being played in the 99 of strategies for sure, but it's that's just where I'm at. I think it was probably the best commander that was printed this year. Do I think it's the best card? No, but I still think that alone kind of makes it have a spot. And I think that the Grixis shell is always going to be strong. So I think that this is going to be a commander that will always see play from here on out in the format.
I think that that's a good.
You think that's correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, my number 3 is the Cabbage Merchant.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this card obviously is fucking cracked. It's actually broken. Like this card's so good. But it's also very new. And so I'm not giving it the fucking number 1 spot. Fuck that. That's my reasoning. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. But
oh my God.
Yeah, but I do think that the card's really good. And I think that the cards that I have above it are better. So even if it wasn't new, fuck it. I'm not putting it number 1. I do think the card's really good. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's like, this card's cracked.
This card is absolutely cracked. Yes.
Yeah. But it's not better than the other 2 cards that I have on my list. And I'm standing by that. And if you want to mention in the comment section, then cool. Feed the algorithm. Let me know I'm a fucking idiot. But I think that this card is placed correctly. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is the Cabbage Merchant.
Fuck yes!
We got 2 on the same spot.
I told you it was correct.
Correct. Anyway, so yeah, the Cabbage Merchant, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because this card's really fucking powerful in cEDH. Like, cEDH just sits back and like, oh yeah, let's let everyone else just cast spells. Meanwhile, like, I have 10 cabbages. Let's put some activations on the stack. Let's go. Like, I think what I like about this, it's one of the, honestly, it's a card that what you have mentioned before, as far as you like cards that kind of play differently from how the format is, as far as like can really take advantage whenever, like, Ristic Days were never meant to be, in a multiplayer format. Smother and Tithe was, and they knew better whenever they printed that card. They still knew better, and they still printed the Cabbage Merchant, right? I think that if you're in green, you play the Cabbage Man. Like, you just do. There might be some strategies that don't necessarily want to. I don't know how much Kennen truly wants to. If I had to say that there was a deck in green that I feel like doesn't want to play the Cabbage Merchant, it might be Kennen. But I think that you could still play it in Kennen and not be wrong. Does that make sense?
I think that it should go in there, if nothing. I mean, it's one of those cards. The reason I have it so high is because, like I said, I think if you're in green, it is incorrect to not play it.
Yeah, like, I think that, I guess the way I view it in Kennen, it's like same thing with Trophy Mage, right? You want to play very limited number of like humans in the deck itself. And so that's why I would be like, I wouldn't play it in that. But you know what card it's actually really, really good with? Delny. because the cabbage merchant is 2 power. So you make 2 cabbages.
My cabbages. That's fucking good.
So maybe this is like something that like where we even talked about TNT last week and like it struggled to find its identity. Maybe the cabbage merchant is kind of one of those cards that help bring a little bit more balance to that list in particular, regardless of what build that you play of it. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Nature's Rhythm.
Okay.
Believe it or not, because this can be a cabbage merchant if you wanted to. Hell, it could be fucking. I don't know if you're playing like Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, but this could technically be fucking 2 cabbage merchants if you wanted to. But I was just saying, I don't know what clones you're playing, but yeah, I think this card's fucking cracked, dude. I was like debating on which one I thought would go where, and I just think tutoring is it's so good. I mean, literally, if you can run a tutor in a deck and it like you're gonna put it in the deck if it makes sense for what you're doing as far as like the strategy goes and like mana efficiency and all that stuff. This is a tutor that can also allow you to like cheat around some of the costs if you need to, like whenever you're doing like the harmonize ability and all that other shit. And it's basically a tutor that can then be reused again for another tutor. Like there have been games where honestly, out of all the decks in the top 10 that I've played this year, Kennon's probably my favorite. I'm just gonna be honest. And like even today, I was exploring like different ideas with Kennen and like fucking around with stuff. The deck's very good. It's very, very sick. And this card single-handedly has dug me out of some awful holes or just straight out won me the game. And I just think this card's fucking cracked. And I forgot that it even got printed this year. Like both of us were just like going through stuff, and I was looking at Tarkir, and I was like, "Oh, Nature's Rhythm." And we were both like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I mean, this card is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I didn't even realize I owned one of these either. We were digging through.
We were digging through your shit. You had a foil one.
Yeah, yeah. Whoops. But yeah, the card's very good. So it made it to my number 2 spot because again, I like tutors, and this card tutors. What is your number 2?
My number 2, I actually put Voice of Victory here at number 2. Yeah, I don't use silence effects as a crutch, Blake.
Incorrect. Both the statement and the placement. Incorrect. But continue.
I should have put it as an honorable mention because fuck you. Yeah, I put Voice of Victory as my number 2. I think having access to another, not just white silence effect that's a creature, but is also a human is really, really strong. The fact that this can go in Darko Timna, Blue Farm, like it literally wants to be in everything that plays white, right? So yeah, it probably is a little bit more deserving of a number 1 spot. I do think there's a better card. That's me personally, but I don't think it was as much. How do I put this? Like when this card got spoiled and was first released, everyone was just like, "Oh, this is better than Grand Abolisher." Like this replaces Ranger Captain and Grand Abolisher, and this is the only silence. Like there were people going that far, and I was like, "No." Like the other 2, I still feel like are better. Yes, Voice of Victory is easier to cast, and it can produce bodies, which helps in Timna strategies, but you're not always going to be running Timna as the commander with this card at time. Like I don't know. Like most of the time, yes, but like generally, you're not going to be attacking with it. You can. It doesn't replace Grand Abolisher because people could still activate things during your turn. And like that's one of the main strategies we're kind of seeing performing very, very well right now is being able to activate things as opposed to casting spells. And again, it is kind of a card that I think that if you're in a pod against like the blue farms and things like that, like you just have to be ready for and anticipate. But I do think that's one thing that gives it such a big advantage. And I've said this all throughout the year of like, whether we're in the mid-range hell or we're turbo meta or whatever, people do not play as though they are prepared to handle creatures. Like they just aren't. And this being another creature silence effect that got printed this year, busted.
Yeah, I fully fucking agree with everything you said because this is my number one card.
Yeah.
I think that right now we're seeing we're seeing lists that are literally picking up every silence effect that they can grab, basically. Like, you're seeing people go on Orum's Chant, you're seeing the actual factual silence, you're seeing Ranger Captain, Voice of Victory, the Grand Abolisher. You know, if people can play the Revel in Silence, shit, they're playing that. Like, they're playing every silence effect they can get. Hell, even Jordan Drake was on that 2-mana exile target or target graveyard or whatever, exile a graveyard, and then like people can't cast non-creature spells until in turn, like including yourself. But like even that shit, like people are playing silence effects like anywhere they can get them, and so I think that this card is cracked. Like the moment it came out, if you're in white, like to me, this is the definition of a staple. Like, if you're in white, you're playing it pretty much. And like I forget about the fact that it even makes bodies because like I'm never attacking with this shit because I don't have a reason. But in a Timna strategy, like that's crazy too. And the stats on it are actually like not bad.
1/3.
Yeah, the casting cost on it is.
What'd you say?
The casting cost, casting cocks. But but yeah, dude. I just like even the mana required to like put into it is like fantastic. There are times where like, if I had Grand Abolisher in my hand, I'm like, fuck, I can't play this and win. But because it's voice, I'm like, oh, I can play this and win because like the colorless pip is so much easier to hit. This card's fucking so good. It's everything I want in a card, dude. It's a silence effect. It's a silence effect. And it's a silence effect that's hard to counter, which I love. That's everything I want in a card. And also, tell me the last time that somebody's like honestly, I want you to think about it. Like, when's the last time that somebody played one of these other spells and your fucking butthole puckered a little bit? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, somebody plays like a Nature's Rhythm and you're like, Nature's Rhythm could fucking be a Voice of Victory. You know what I mean? But they play a spell and then you go like, oh, well, do we let this count? Do we let it go through? Well, whatever. If somebody plays a Voice of Victory, I get fucking tense. I'm like, oh God, are you going right now? I hold my breath. I'm like, are you pushing? Question mark. And then you got people like Trevor that's like, no, it's just a value voice. And I'm like, oh God. And then he passes turn. And then what happens? The whole turn cycle. It is like, are we gonna let Trevor untap and with a Voice of Victory on board? Are we gonna let this happen? And then everything is focused on that card.
Yeah.
Like, this card's fucking nuts. This is to me is like, like I say, it's everything I want in a card. This card's fucking amazing. The only thing I wish is that the bodies it made were not red. Because fuck that. Fuck that. No. What?
What?
When you attack, it makes the red guy the
Why does it matter?
I don't know. I just don't like red. I don't like red and I don't like green. So
oh my goodness.
I wish it made something different.
I know what I'm gonna make you play a Dolly this next year.
that deck. Fuck that deck.
Hey,
but if I do play it, it's gonna have Redirect Lightning.
Yeah. All right. So my number one, and you're gonna hate me for it already. I already know that. My number one, I put Wan Shi Tong Librarian as my number one card that got printed this year. This card is fucking amazing. You made the comment earlier on like people, like it's an Archivist in blue and people aren't like already aren't on Archivist that much. I don't know why you wouldn't be. Like, those effects are very strong and they get underutilized so much. That might be the hot take going into 2026. You can sink mana into it. It's going to draw you cards. It pretty much hits the thing in the format that makes these decks the most consistent. Like, tutoring is like I would say the biggest thing in the format. Another hot take.
You know what's more important than tutoring?
What?
Casting spells.
Okay.
Voice of Victory don't let you do that shit.
Dude, all I'm saying is this can very quickly become a very big body. It takes you, like, just as much as, like, you put Taru on your list because it's almost going to trigger every single time. Like, think of how many fetches there are. Think of how many tutors there are. Think of how many strategies are, like a Sisay or Rog Side, Blue Farm, things like that that are so dependent on tutoring in their deck to get the consistency going. If a deck plays this and they land it very, very early, or even something like Kennen, it's just like, oh, I have a Basalt Monolith, but this resolved. Like, oh no, I can only make infinite colorless mana. What? I have 2 blue. Washington. Draw out the deck. Like it gives even that deck another way of going, oh, I have something to filter this colorless mana into. Let me just cast this. If that part of things fucking resolve, this is going to most likely. And then they just continue to win on the spot. That's like only one example. I think Blue Farm wants this card. I don't think Rog Side technically wants this card because I think they want to go slightly faster, but I wouldn't be surprised if there have been Rog Side pilots that have tried this card. I think being able to hold this card up and be able to like flash it in to see more cards is not a bad thing. The fact that it gets counters and draws a card at the same time, you're able to pressure life totals of like all the Adnaz and Necro decks, and has Vigilance, so it's just got to keep on beating and go to protect your own life total, especially in like a Blue Farm shell. I think it's probably the best thing that got printed.
See, this is where me and you kind of have a disagreement, because like I don't see many, if any, Blue Farm lists not playing Voice of Victory, because again, like they highly value the sound effects. I hear a lot of Blue Farm pilots debating on whether or not Washington actually even goes in farm.
Yeah.
Like I've had people try it and then they took it out, or they've told me they're like, yeah, like I don't really think it's necessary. And so I think that the card is very good. Don't get me wrong. But I think when you compare it to something like, hey, like I'm locking you out of being able to do anything on my turn, I just think Voice of Victory is so much better. I think Washington is a good card. I mean, that's why it made it on my list, top 10. But it was my number 9. And Voice of, like, it's fucking crazy that it's number 1. I think that everybody's going to love this card until you're sitting there trying to win Thoracle style and somebody fucking cracks a fetch and you're like, damn it, I have to draw from an empty library. If only I was Blake and I play Angel's Grace.
Oh God! Don't even get me fucking started on that.
I'm just saying. But you know what you wouldn't have that problem with? If there's a Voice of Victory on board, they can crack that fetch. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, they run into the same thing with fucking Esper Sentinel too. If you think about that, I think Archivist is a force draw as well.
Archivist is a force draw. Esper's a force draw.
Like you run that risk one way or another.
You're right, but Voice of Victory is better than them.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it?
No, it's mono white.
Huh?
It's mono white, not is it?
God, I hate you so much. No, I think Watching Talk is the best card that got printed this year for sure.
I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. I disagree so deeply.
I know you do because you have to use silence effects as fucking crutch.
You should try a deck that runs silence effects.
I do.
What?
I play silence effects in CSA.
Well, you suck.
I play Blue Farm.
Oh yeah. What? Look, man, you can't cast a Voice of Victory when you fucking like eat all your lands to a Rain of Filth. Like you gotta give it time.
Oh my god.
You gotta let it nurture, man.
Oh man.
Nurture.
I think that this card it's already good. I think it's already strong. I think we're gonna see it pop up quite a bit this next year. You know what? Fuck you. Grand's number 1 now.
Grand is the best card in cEDH in 2025.
Granny into club.
We went off the rails.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
At least we did it at the end of the episode.
That was very disrespectful. I'm over here talking about people not being able to cast spells on my turn, and I'm fucking talking on your turn.
I know.
How disrespectful.
You degenerate fuck.
That's right. I should fucking kill myself.
No, you can't say that.
Why not? What does YouTube got to do? They can't do anything and have a Voice of Victory.
They cast demonetization.
It's demonic consultation.
Oh, demonic. God.
Which can make you lose the game with a washing tongue out.
Oh, I hate you and I hate me.
ChatGPT says that we have chemistry, so
Oh, does it?
It's what you told me.
People do say we're like a married couple most of the time.
Correct.
Correct. Oh, so
It's
I
like
don't
a
know.
therapist and his dementia patient.
Why? Oh my God. Do you have anything else for tonight
Dementia.
before we derail this even more than we already have here at the end? No?
Nope.
Good. So
Is it bad that when you, okay, look, I'm just the full ADHD is kicking in now. When you said derail, only thing that popped in my head was Derevi. I'm being so
what?
I don't know why. I just had to get that out. Go ahead.
You didn't have to.
I had
you can
to.
hold it back.
If I didn't, my head would explode.
Anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you made it past this conversation, I just, if you haven't clicked off by now, what are you doing? Go on ahead, unsubscribe. This is what the
Put in the comments section what your top cards were for these sets this year.
Interestingly enough, I don't think either one of us mentioned a Spider-Man card.
No.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
It is what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole set review with y'all. So, yeah, but I think that's what's going to happen. Like, that's if I'll be honest, and I'll close out after this. But like, that is kind of something I'm worried about for next year. We actually got a fairly decent amount of cards this year. We got good cards last year. I don't know if we'll get that spoiled again. We could. I think there's a lot of hype on some of these sets right now, but I'm also like the whole universes thing still kind of worries me at times.
I will say I think one of the things that I struggled with whenever I was doing this, like, to be completely honest, like I had no idea what the fuck got printed this year. Like when we were trying to make this list. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go to EDH Rec and I'm going to sort by set and then I'm going to sort by price because roughly you can get a good idea of what's being played in cEDH based off of price. Like not entirely, but it just gave me like a nice breakdown. And then I just kind of went from there. And I didn't realize how many just fucking useless cards get printed in a lot of these sets. Like not saying that in a mean way, but like so many of these cards are just filler spots.
Yeah.
They make no sense. Half of them have to be legendary because they're coming from some different IP, which then fucking adds all of these extra legends to Commander, and then people get pissy because they want to build, decks around certain strategies, and then like it's just tough, man. It feels weird. And then I feel like the fact that now they knew what they were doing. That's why they had to change what is it, like standard or modern or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to allow the universes beyond sets because they were like, we're going to be printing a ton of this shit. So we now have to make it legal. It pisses them off too because half of the stuff is like, it's you build it with Commander in mind, and then it's legal in a format that doesn't have Commander in mind, and then it fucks everything up, and then there's just all these issues. I personally think that at the start of the year, I didn't care. Everybody was like, oh, this is stupid. They're printing too much stuff. And I just really didn't care. And then now I'm kind of sitting at the end of the year and I'm like, this kind of is like, I'm not really excited for every set that comes out anymore. I don't even look at the cards until people start putting them in their lists. And then I'm like, cool, now I got an idea of what the fuck's doing good right now.
Yeah.
I literally, like, we do set reviews. I fucking want to pull my teeth out. I hate those so much. I don't watch them. I don't like recording them. I don't like anything about set reviews. I just want to see what cards pop up, do good. And then I'm going to put that shit in the list. I'm going to try it out. And half of these I can't even play because they're not in colors that I play.
We're going to change that this year.
We are going to change that this year.
Change that this year, yeah.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the new year or maybe next week. I don't know which one. I don't know. It just depends. So, yeah. I think, but I still think overall this year we're eating good.
We are.
cEDH.
I just hope. My biggest worry, and I just hope this isn't what happens. I just hope that they don't get so blindsided by like Universes Beyond and gotta make a ton of sets, and then the card quality just like suffers really bad.
Yeah.
Like some of the cards literally were just screenshots of scenes put onto cards. And like it was funny because I was watching Distraction Makers and they showed how there was another game that actually had the Avatar IP in it, and the cards that were in it looked the exact same as the Magic cards, because they did that. That's literally what the universe like IP was doing, is they just had screenshots and they were like, oh, you want to use some of our stuff for card, and they just send them a file. And so like some of the Magic arts and cards are already on different IPs for like a different game. Like, so I feel like that kind of shit is lazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you're at least gonna do it and you're gonna like put a ton of Universes Beyond stuff in, do it right.
Yep.
But yeah, there's so many fucking sets, and a lot of them just was nothing good. It was nothing good.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But again, if you made it this far into the video and somehow made it through these rants, like, still drop it down in the comments down below. Like your all's thoughts, not just on our list, but what you think the best cards of 2025 were, really, because we're here at the end of the year. And Blake, I know that you typically come up with a question as well for whenever they make it to the end of the video. So what would you like them to comment on?
What was your favorite set from this year? That's something I'm curious about. I would like to actually know what people's favorite sets were. Like, you know, if you say Spider-Man, I'm not going to hate on you. Like, that's fine. But like,
If you say Aetherdrift, you're a fucking liar, though.
But what was your favorite set from this year? Let us know in the comments below.
Yep. Sounds good. So, yeah, drop it down in the comments below. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and, you know, join the Patreon, join the Discords,
I was going to say, if you're buying gifts for your family and your friends and they play Magic, go to Man of All Proxies. That is all.
That's all he has. That's all.
Use our affiliate link and our code.
What's the code again?
CCC.
You want to show him?
No.
Okay. There he goes. Anyway, so yeah, like, subscribe, and as always,
go play some cEDH. Just not on my turn because I got a voice of victory.
Oh my God.
Bitch. No. I ain't losing that fucking washy thong, Drew.
You're a fucking menace.